Hi guys, my name's Ellie, welcome to my channel, and I wanted to do a video. I actually had to think about it a little bit, but Lacey from Spooky Lips and Fat Hips and Georgia Harris did a collab of their favorite eyeshadow in a palette, and I really liked it, and I wanted to kind of do a spin on it. If I am not an idiot, I will link both of their videos up in the cards. If not, please just Google them and watch them. Again, I love both of them a lot, and what I wanted to do with that is I wanted to compare my favorite shade in a palette and my most used. And so I have 5 palettes in front of me, 4 eyeshadow, 1 face, and I just wanted to talk about the ones that I I'm excited about, I pull for, and the one that I'm actually using most often. Also, I'm really into my makeup today. I've been trying to find different ways to use, I have a little sample of Urban Decay Fireball, and I got really excited about it, and I haven't bought a full size because I haven't really used the sample, and I used it all over this whole part today, and I really like it, and I'm enjoying myself. I'm enjoying the Agari, I'm enjoying the soft but pretty eyes, and I'm just feeling happy. So, why not do something if you're going to have fun with your makeup? So, let me stop chatting about that and get into these palettes. So these are palettes I feel a lot about and or got very excited about, so I want to start with one of my oldest palettes. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Self-Made palette. This was like my second or third fancy palette. My mom bought it for me for Christmas. I had no idea how to use this palette because it's gorgeous, but being a starter person and picking up ABH shadows is a lot. So, of these, I think when I first got the palette, I was most excited for Sherbert. I was less excited when I found out it wasn't matte, because I didn't know yet that I like matte in my crease. And it's satin. You can use it, but it's a little different. And this, Isla, is my most used shade in this palette. This was my first mint, my first metallic mint, and I pulled it out so much. I'm really surprised I don't have more of a dent in it. It's just this I've used so many times. Everything else in here I kind of forget about, and I'll see it when I'm pulling out Isla, and I'll make a point to use 1 or 2, but I will pull this palette out just for Isla. And then my favorite, which I was not expecting, is Deep Purple. This is the first of that kind of a tone, and it might be the only purple of this shade I have. It is so pretty, so intense, and I really need to drag this into my outer corner more often because I love it. Every time I use it, I love to use Deep Purple and Self-Made. I like to do mauve with this somewhere in it. This is my favorite shade, and I did not expect that to be my favorite shade. That was something when I first started seeing the palette and everything, I was like, I don't know where I'll use that, but maybe. And then this is my favorite. So, of the two, it's kind of weird that this is my most used and this is my favorite, but that's where we're going. So, first palette, done. And then I guess we'll go chronological, yeah. The next one, this is the Alice Through the Looking Glass palette. And I got so excited when this came out. It was right after the Sweet Peach palette had gone out and sold out. So I went to go touch it in store, just kind of see what the colors are, swatch it, and decide if I wanted to buy it. And I was intending to wait to buy it for a while. And then I panicked because the store clerk was talking to me about how, they just got it in, they only have so many, and she was trying to find time in her shift to clock out and buy one because she didn't want to lose this she hadn't grabbed Sweet Peach. So I panicked and I bought it, and I love this palette. It's so nice. It is so pretty. And I feel like my most used shade is probably Cake. I've pulled this out to use Cake a lot, to try to incorporate it, to try and find ways to use it, and for a long time this was the only shade of this tone that I had. I had some mauves, but they were mainly cool. This was the first brighter purpley pink that I had, and I used it a lot. So, that was that. And then my favorite shade in this palette, so most used, I don't know if I said that, I I jumble up my words in my order sometimes. Favorite is actually probably either Kingdom or Chronosphere. I didn't know how much I loved bronze until I got this palette. I'd never had a good bronze. It's probably Chronosphere. Chronosphere is just a little darker, a little deeper, and something about just like a mid-tone in my crease and Chronosphere all over the lid. It just makes me so happy, and I really haven't found something that quite captures that shade anywhere else. Like, I found things that are labeled bronze, either too gold or too brown. They're just not quite right. So I have to be careful. At least I make myself be careful, and I hold off on using this a little bit more than I probably should, because I don't want to use this up until I can dupe it. And it's just never been quite right. And I can't not have that unreasonably average but super specific bronze color. So, ta-da. And unfortunately, a lot of these are limited edition. These are both, I believe, sold out a long, long time ago. Next thing I got was this. This is the Natasha Denona Lila palette. And it's fucking gorgeous. I got this last October. The boyfriend gave it to me for our monogamy anniversary. 1 year yes, 1 year of monogamy. He bought me this. And my favorite shade is Dragonbite. It's so pretty. It's so pretty. And oddly enough, I did a 1 month palette with that, and I really didn't use Dragonbite that much. I was really expecting that to be like my focus. And I used it a couple times, and it is still my favorite of all these tones. I love duochromes. I love red and green shifty duochromes in various shades. I have a couple of them where it's like a very red brown into like a light minty green, or a couple of where this one's a little bit more mid to mid. This color is gorgeous on the lid, and I love it. It is my favorite for sure. And then, of most used, let me see what it's called. Yeah. Magnolia. I was really not expecting that to be my most used, because I've had other times using it, and I've pulled more for the other colors, but when I went to use it for my 1 month my palette, I used the shit out of Magnolia. Like, I paired this with like everything I could, and it went so well, and you really don't think that that shade's gonna do that much, but it's gorgeous, and I used it a lot. So, most used is that. A close contender would potentially be, what is your name? I really hate that they're on this. Yeah. A close contender would be Nude Mauve. When I first was pulling this out and just doing looks with it, I used Nude Mauve a lot, but when I went to do my 1 month palette, which is where I got the most use on this, I was not using the mattes, so runner-up is Nude Mauve. This palette's really good. It's kind of sad, because it's good that I love it, but also it means that I am more likely to buy more Natasha Denona, and her palettes are so expensive. So pretty. And then, ooh, maybe I did that out of order. I think I'd gotten the Paleo palette next. But yeah, this is the Paleo palette from Clear Now Cosmetics. It was my first palette by them, and it's so pretty. It's so gorgeous. This is how I fell in love with them. They have amazing shadows, amazing pigmentation. Their customer service is amazing. I'm super excited for the palette that's coming in the mail to me. I got their Archeo palette. It's coming up. So that will be my 4th palette from them. And if I attempt a eyeshadow no-buy next year, my exception will be Clear Now Cosmetics, because I really want to keep giving them my money and watching their company grow into something awesome, because it's already really, really cool. I just need it to be big. I need it to be, like, big enough to be picked up by, like, Sephora or Ulta, so I can have everybody know how cool they are. But, things. Yeah, when I first ordered this palette, I really didn't have any plan on how I was going to use it. I just liked the colors. I wanted to test the pigmentation. My most used is Molten. Molten is this really gorgeous gold with a slight mint sheen that's amazing. It's so pretty. And it really works with a lot of different tones. It's kind of a good way to tie a bunch of the different colors together. And I probably would have grabbed for Pangea more, but I had a different yellow I was panning, so Molten is currently the most used shadow in this palette. And that's for favorite. I would have expected it to be one of the warmer tones, but it's crystalline. This, like, purpley, bluey, green, duochrome gorgeousness is my favorite color. It's so pretty. I have a couple different shadows that do similar type things, but this one is the best quality, and it's so nice. It's gorgeous, it's unique but not jarring, it's special. It's really, really pretty, and it's my favorite. Also, this palette is gorgeously painted and hand detailed, and there's like this nice texture. I love the effort and care that goes into Clionadh Cosmetic products. So, I have a bit of a bias for them. And then, we are on to our last palette. This is a face palette from Sigma. I don't know if they've done face palettes. People were talking about this like it was a big deal. This is their Chroma Glow palette. And of all the colors in here, I was most nervous about Lush because it looks so dark. But it's the one I've used the most. Lush is my most used color in this palette. I've taken this and, it's not really that dark on the skin. It's actually kind of similar to what I have right now. It just ends up with this, like, soft blush with a gorgeous sheen. I did that a lot. I did Holiday. The blush is actually underneath all of this, which is this nice coral color. I'd put that down, and then I would just brush this over it just like a topper. And I would kind of bring it up onto my cheekbones for highlight. And you get this gorgeous, like, glittery pinky orange shift with just a touch of thing underneath. So it is like the most pretty way to fake a sunburn. I don't know. It looks really, really nice, and it did add some lovely color to my face, and I grabbed that a lot more than the other shades. And then my favorite is Zeal. Zeal is, again, one of those duochrome shades. It's got like a mauve-y base with this like light greeny blue shift. It is the reason I bought the palette, because I didn't have a highlighter like that, and I was like, I need it. I don't know why, but I need it. So I bought that. That is my favorite shade. It is the most unique shade in the palette. And oddly not my most used. I'm really still surprised that Lush is the one I grabbed for the most. But Zeal's so pretty. So, that has been my little attempt. Favorite versus most used shadows in palettes. Yeah, tell me yours down below. Or if you want to do a video comparing it. I think it was really interesting, at least on my end, to sit down and look at, you know, my favorite color and whether or not I'm using it the most. Because some of them, it's the difference of, oh, well, one's a matte shade and I can reach for it more often. But often it's completely different. The one that I will pull the most often and my favorite shade are different. And I thought that was interesting. And it might just be interesting for me, but I don't care. So, that was fun. Don't forget to go check out Georgia Harris and Lacey's videos. They're fantastic. I love them. I love watching them. And thank you for watching me. I'll see you guys next time.